Welcome back to Gemstone Podcast. It is LP. Welcome to part 2. So this is a continuous segment from part 1. And the foundational question was, why are Black marriages declining in the United States of America? Now, me and Zack had a lot of great conversation about this, and what you're about to listen to is part 2. It gets even better. But before we get started, do something for me. Subscribe to the podcast. Like and share our podcast. Share it in your group chat with your mama them, your aunt, uncle, cousin them, your homegirls, your homeboy, your husband, your wife, whoever it may be. Go ahead and share our podcast. Now, you can find us on various platforms such as Spotify Anchor, Apple Podcasts, which is the most popular, Pandora Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, and YouTube. Now, check this out. I got this event dropping on June 18th. It's called Psychological Leadership and Psychological Equity, Anchoring Your Leadership. It's on Eventbrite. Go ahead and get your tickets. Your tickets are only $10. That's it, $10. When you go on Eventbrite, type in my name, Lance Parker, or type in Anchoring Your Leadership. And go ahead and get your ticket. Now, without further ado, if you want to send us any type of mail, get in contact with us, send us content, you got a story you want to tell, or you just want to chop it up with the gang, you can always email us at gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. That's gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. Now, I did too much talking. I'm going to go ahead, let the rest of this content do its thing. As a man who has children, I'm married now, but beforehand I wasn't. And I have kids with an S. So I didn't even model what I'm saying right now is the foundational pillar of what's needed in a Black community to adhere to these adverse statistics that we're talking about. I contributed to relational insecurity because I wasn't always in the household. I wasn't always around. I'm pretty sure I contributed to abandonment. I'm pretty sure I contributed to rejection. I'm pretty sure I contributed to unworthiness in some type of aspect. But
Dang,
I'm
that's
just
deep.
I'm just being
That's deep.
honest.
Saying it's
I
deep.
was
That's
not
deep.
there all the time. So I'm pretty sure that some type of way has impacted even my own kids in some aspect. And then to witness, now daddy's married. Now I'm doing it backwards. I'm trying to teach you what stability, unconditional love, conflict resolution. Now I'm trying to teach you that, but you didn't live damn near 17 years of your life.
But see, this is one thing though. And not to get us off topic of the marriage and stuff, because we
Yeah,
we
yeah,
really
yeah,
getting
yeah,
deep
yeah,
into
yeah, yeah.
this right now.
Yeah,
With
no,
our
we
love.
are. We are.
It's never too old to teach an old dog new tricks.
You're right.
It's always good to learn something. So maybe you wasn't able to do it then, but now you showing them this is what it's like to be a man. This is what it's like to have somebody in your back and got your back all the time. This is what it's like for you look for a partner. This is what your partner should be doing. This is how you love your partner. This is how you cater to your partner. You know what I'm saying? You're doing those things now. So now they have a pillar to have a high standard at of what they know loves to be.
I say one thing though, and this is one thing that we have to do as a Black community. Yeah, I can show these things now, but one thing I've done, and I probably say the last 5 years of my life, I've educated myself on the importance of Black history and Black information. So therefore, even when it comes to my career, being a health and higher education professional or scholar, or even writing articles, or got a book coming out in July. You know what I'm saying? Educating myself in that facet has assisted me in understanding things at a more optimal level. So therefore, I have a different depiction of what we should do as a Black community. So when we have these conversations, that's why I love when we have these conversations. I love when we get on HBCUs. I love when we get on PWIs. I love when we get on health systems and how it needs to contribute to the underserved community or the Black community, because I have taken a seat back and kind of allow myself to be a student or a lifelong learner to educate myself and continuously educate myself on what historically the Black community needs and what is being done and what can be done to help us. And when I think about this, when we're talking about this marriage aspect, I just feel like the powers that be, they're so strategic. When I say, I mean, just looking at this and seeing that removing one component, adding in, the attorney general, adding in the crack epidemic, adding in food stamps, adding in, what's that, daycare assistance, add, government healthcare like CHIP and all these different things, adding all these different resources in that, oh, I gotta go grab it. Oh, I gotta go get it. Oh, I gotta go get it. It dismantled us, man, in so many ways. And it's so strategic how you just add a little something here, a little something there, and put something right there, and it has such a generational effect. So now that I've kind of sat back and educated myself on that, I be seeing the play. So now I want to do better as a man, but it's I wouldn't say it's hard. It's just
No, it is hard.
having
If
these
you say it's not
conversations.
hard, then you're lying to yourself, and we'll be lying to
Facts.
ourselves.
You know what? You're
This
right.
is this is this is hard to be a
Hmm.
better person every single day. It's
Yeah, it
hard
is.
to do everything
It
you have to
is.
do for yourself and your partner every single day,
Yeah,
but it's not impossible.
I
It's not
agree.
impossible to check up on them. It's not impossible to check up on him. It's not impossible to see how they're doing their day. It's not impossible to have mental checks when you go to bed every night. You sleep next to this person. Why y'all not having a little pillow talk before you go to bed? You know what I'm saying? Baby, how you
Hmm.
doing today, man? How's your day? Talk to me, baby. Let's reconvene. You know what I'm talking about? There are things you can do. We just ain't supposed to be in the bed fucking and going to sleep. No. Talk, nigga.
My God.
Communication is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Like, we making this. I'm not saying me and you, but I'm saying like I'm passionate right now, so I might be a little loud on the mic. I apologize to y'all about that, listeners. But this is not. I'm I'm passionate about this, but I believe in love. I'm a lover boy. You know, I'm a straight up Pisces. I believe in that shit the day I die. But it's not hard because I know you can do it. I done seen myself do it. I'm in it, so I know what it can be done. And I know people can do it. 'Cause I've seen other people do it. And just like LP talked about, reaching back to the past, I done did that. I reach out to my uncles, I reach out to my aunties, I reach out to my mothers and my fathers, and I ask them the history of black folks, how it was back then, what they went through, how they made it to where they got to, them sundown towns and all that bull crap.
Hmm.
And then I lived in that stuff, like LP said. I'm from Mineral Wells, Texas. You can't tell me shit about no sundown town. What you talking about? I done been to Vida. I done been to Jasper. I done been to
Ooh,
Stephenville.
Jasper.
I done been to Heiko, where they got the KKKs. They done changed the shit now, but it used to be the Coffee
Coffee
Cup
Cup
Cafe.
Cafe.
Nigga, play with me,
Okay.
nigga. I done been to Comanche. Like, you can't tell me shit about no sundown town. Nigga, I know that shit prevalent to the day.
Jasper still. You ride through Jasper, you gotta have your blicky in your lap.
You better keep that motherfucker on you at all times. Excuse me, I know I'm getting a little passionate. Some curse words is flying. Don't beat my stuff, LP. Let it happen.
But but I want to go deeper though, Zach. I asked a question because I want to know why. You know what I'm saying? I want to know why relational insecurity is so prevalent in Black marriages. And it should also stems from complex mix of systemic stress, generational traumas, and social cultural pressures. These intersecting factors create external and internal dynamics that uniquely impact the Black family structure.
Can I
Social,
tell you something before you tell me the detail? 'Cause I'm probably gonna tell you. I'm probably gonna simplify for the viewers
you are. Go ahead.
without you saying it.
Go ahead and do it. Cause you
The
about to.
reason why the issue with us is this: it's too many of y'all want to keep up with the damn Jeffersons.
Mm.
Stay in your damn lane and stick with your partner and focus on y'all. You want to be up here with the man wearing the Louis, and that's what I go back to what I said earlier. We ain't supposed to see all this bullshit we see now, LP. Social media ruin y'all. Y'all want to be driving in the Bentleys and the Rolls Royces, but they ain't got no Rolls Royce money, nigga. You want the Louis V on my feet, but they ain't got no Louis V bread, nigga. You want to be in the barber's room, spending $10,000, $15,000 at the strip club like it ain't nothing because I got it. Show it ass. Your bracket pimping. Y'all want to be up in the big brackets when you got the little bracket peso. If you stick with who you know how to stick to and who you know how to talk to, and I ain't gonna say it like that. Cause some people can't hit outside they can hit outside their range sometimes, you know what I mean, LP? We all done did it a couple times. We all done bagged the battle. We had no reason bagging, but it happened.
Whew, you going in today. Man, I'm mad shot missed this before. Cause she be up here, yeah, man, yeah. Tell it like it is. So one thing it says, It says socioeconomic and systemic pressures is one of the contributing factors. It says racial trauma and discrimination is another factor, and gender expectations. I want to focus on this one just for a hot second because cultural stereotypes is considered a derivative, such as expectations for Black women to display perpetual strength and self resilience.
Run that back one more time so they can hear that one more time. Run that back one more time.
The expectation for Black women to display or perpetuate perpetual strength and self reliance, often termed the strong Black woman or superwoman. When it
In
comes to
simple
the Black
terms,
man,
Black women is a strong people in the family.
and when it comes to the black men, it says Black men are really this is really say not present. I don't know how that's whatever else to say. It just say not present, which I think is so wrong.
It's
Cause I,
not
s-
though, because you just you
'cause
you just gave me a whole list of reasons why Black men weren't in the household for a good long time.
yes, but I guess when you look at it from a generational vantage point, that makes sense. So to get back to the overarching question we asked each other when we started this conversation, the overarching question was why is marriage so difficult for the Black Americans to sustain? Well, I guess the foundational answer to that question is relational insecurity, which is the number one derivative in Black relationships or Black marriages due to generational trauma, socioeconomic pressures, and intersecting the external and internal demog- uh, dynamics that uniquely impact Black structures. And if we look at relational, not racial, relational insecurity, it has a strong attachment to abandonment, rejection, and unworth. And I'm gonna say it anyway. It's our podcast. Cool. Colleagues, fellow professionals, or individuals in my network. I always feel like we're trying to prove ourselves in the space of employment. And
Mm,
I'm guilty of it as well. Always
mm.
trying to prove ourselves as if we belong. I mean, I just had like a conversation with my parents last week about this because of my own personal feelings with things I've done in the health sector and the higher education sector. And I just feel like I stamped my name. So what else do I have to prove? But
What I said earlier, our parents told us
that comes from a place of
everything.
unworthiness. That comes from a place of unworthiness a little bit, right? Because if we're always trying to prove ourselves, we have to feel that we're unworthy or we haven't arrived in some
No,
aspect,
no,
right?
no, no. Let me tell you why I know.
All
It's
right.
not us having to prove ourselves. It's the fact that they don't want us there, so we gotta do 20 times more to make sure they can't tell us no.
So would it
You ain't
be
unworthy. You just have to prove yourself, so you get tired of making that fight, and that fight makes you feel like you unworthy, but you ain't.
so so
You
would
just
that be so would that be an aspect of hypervigilance?
hmm,
Because psychologically,
hmm.
I feel like I have to achieve it by well beyond the milestone just to even get recognized. So am I hyper vigilant on the achievement?
In a way, yeah.
So since I'm so
In
hyper
in a way, let me
vigilant,
put it to you like this.
okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, speak to me.
In a way, you don't even get to validate yourself for the achievements you did because you always having to push further to get the validation that you feel like you deserve.
So
So you
so my
miss
ne-
out on everything. Go
so
ahead, my
my
fault, go ahead.
oh, see you answered my question. I thought it was gonna be my next question. So if I'm so hyper vigilant because I'm triggered by not being able to meet the mark and I carry some of this unworthiness within me internally, but not only is that in my relationship, that's also in my internal being. Do I start to miss out on things that are relational within my relationship because I'm so hyper focused or I'm so hyper vigilant on trying to meet the mark?
And yes, because you never live in the moment because you always focus on the next goal to get you where you want to get to. Now it comes to a scenario where it's like,
Mm.
you talked about how you to school, right? And how
Mhm.
you feel like you did all this stuff to stamp your name. Now, nigga, you a doctor, nigga, you done stamped your name. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
you feel like you don't feel like you got there because you feel like you always having to work to prove yourself, even though you've already educationally proved yourself and proved yourself
Yes.
through all the work you've done past tense, where it's not getting shown light on now.
Yes.
So in the same way in a relationship, what you did when you was boyfriend and girlfriend didn't get appreciated. So now with you the husband, sometimes they quit doing it because they feel like they put the groundwork in. Now they ain't got to do it no more. Well, you still
See,
got to keep going.
you brought it back to relationship. See, I
Yeah, I
took a
did
this
that.
is see, ooh, cold with it. See, I stepped out just a little bit because I wanted to focus on that because I believe for us as black people or a black community, let me not say black people, a black community that we have a relationship with our career. So I think when we have a relationship with our career, that we do get hyper vigilant and we get triggered because of that unworthiness that we feel sometimes because we're trying to go above and beyond to even get recognized or seen so we can move forward and push our demographic in a more progressive manner. But by doing that, we skip out on other things. So we add to abandonment, we add to rejection within our relationships that we have with our significant other because we're so focused on trying to meet the mark. And so therefore we contribute to negative aspects within our relationship, probably more than others because the mark is harder for us to reach. So we miss each other in our
Absolutely.
relationships
Because
because
don't
exactly.
they got that saying LP where it's what they say it says if you want a high end man, you have to be willing for him not to be at home. But if you want a man that's at home, that don't be broke.
Yeah, but see, but that's not the case with all the time with other demographics because of the
Why is it not? It
modeling.
is sometimes.
Well, yeah, I agree, but I just believe that if our number one derivative is the reason why we have the lowest rate of marriage and the highest rate of divorce is relational insecurity, and no other demographic has that, then that's alarming to me. Yeah, they may have some of the same similar struggles that we have and go through some of the same things, but it's not a foundational derivative. It's the reason why they're uncoupling or not even trying to be married at all. It just said that for white Americans, that the number one is finances.
And the reason you said it earlier too, and then on previous episodes, our girl Shy have said it. The reason why our marriages aren't the same, and what we said earlier in this podcast just now, segment is we were systematically have
Mhm.
barriers set up against us to take our families away from each other. So we
Mhm.
grew up with not having families. So we believe in not having families and having to be independent all the time instead of being codependent on each other like we used to be. Now, the white people and everybody else races always do that. We have the Hispanic people, they get in the house fully 20 people deep. White folks have
Alleg-
a whole compound together.
allegedly, people going crazy. That going
The
in.
Asians got a whole household together. Them niggas get all types of houses together and get all types
Ooh,
of cities together they
okay,
build up.
okay. Stay
Black
right there.
people,
Stay right there, Z. Stay
we
right
were
there.
systematically pushed out, and that's why we don't have the culture that we need to have in our families because we never learned that. So we only learned how to be independent. We are the most independent ethnicity out there. Ain't nobody independent as us. We know how to stand 10 toes down and get it out the mud by itself.
Random question, and this is probably outside of. Now we're going down the rabbit hole because you mentioned how other ethnicities have compounds, they live together. Do you believe that we as a black community, we have dismantled the sense of the village?
Hell no.
Because
White folks did it to us when they drove
well,
highways
no,
through our damn communities.
no, I'm not talking about the live 20 deep allegedly in one household. I remember a time when black Americans had some of the same concept, but I don't see that any longer.
May I go now? I know my girl gonna love this too. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna bring something from her bag of the wolves right here.
Go
You know
ahead, go
why?
ahead.
Because they killed us. Anytime
Yeah,
we did good, they killed us. Anytime we got too big, they had to blow that hoe up. We never could stay good because black people being good for the community and the city ain't good for people. That's money coming out their pocket. That's why I said earlier, they drove a highway through Color Town, didn't they?
Yeah.
I-95. They drowned multiple cities. They bombed their own damn city.
Yes, they did.
And then we wonder why don't we got no black cities and stuff like that? Because they killed them.
Yes, they did.
They're never gonna see us want to be successful. A successful black town is too good.
Okay.
Because if one person knows they can do it, then that means more people can do it.
See, but that's what I'm saying though, Z. So you answered my question. So the answer is yeah, because they took it from us. But the question is why, if we know these things, why haven't we as a Black American society, why haven't we tried to collectively bring those things back? Because we don't see them. It's like for me, I know for me, in about 5 years, 7 years, I want to buy some land. I want to have a house, but I want to have houses built on the land. Each kid gonna get a house
Okay,
because I want to set them up.
absolutely.
But that's my mindset, right? And if I could do more, I'll do more. It depends
Well,
on
let me tell you
how the
something right
market
now.
looking.
Guess what you just said, my brother? Everything you said was individual for your family.
Facts.
And like
But
I
but
said earlier,
but that's what I'm getting
we
back.
we know how to be individuals because they took that from us. We know how to be
Yes.
independent.
See, but that's what I was getting at. I wanted to say, but that's a plan I have for me and mine. How do we get back to a space where we can have that ideology for all of us? Where we have married couples getting together that say, "Hey, we want to dismantle this relational insecurity derivative, and we want to build a community. We want to put our money together, build a community, have various compounds. This is the Durst Street. This is the Parker Street. This is the Landry Street. This is et cetera, et cetera. Each kid has something. All the kids know each other. Blah 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 blah. Like,
How
how
do
do
we
we
do
get to
it?
that space? Because now when we do things like that, they say, "Oh no, that's a cult."
Well,
But
fine, let it be a cult then.
but how? That's out of pocket. But
How's out
but
of
you're right
pocket?
though. No 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 no
Let it be
no
a cult.
no no. What you're saying is right. I'm saying like saying it's a cult is out of pocket. You're right.
Well, yeah, them call us a cult is out of pocket, but let them
Yeah.
call it to us. Now think about it. What do you think they used to call religion back in the day? Cults.
Yep.
But how do we get to it? You asked the question. I think it's a very upstream, large scale situation. I think that comes between a lot of people coming together that got pockets that are deep and that can build something together. Because there's a bunch of little small ass towns for sale.
Yes.
We can go get a small town and just start developing that hoe.
Mhm.
There's plenty of us. I know there's plenty of black people that got construction jobs. There's plenty of black people that got logistical jobs. There's plenty of black people that got businesses we can go out there and build up. Like, it's plenty of things we can do. Now it's just how do we get to it and how do we start it? I say we do just like the people in Missouri did. Whites only town? Shit, we got a black only town, nigga.
So this is just me. I asked the question, how we get there? This is just me thinking out loud. With not very much time to research this or even look into it. Right. I think we when we had our live when we did the live recording, we talked about schools a little bit. Then we got on some of the schools in Texas. We talked about schools. So I just want to talk about Texas specifically right now. I don't want to talk about nobody else. Because I know where I'm from, where I live, and where I'm at, Texas. Okay. So we have a lot of higher education institutions. We also have a lot of black communities. And Texas has so many counties. I think you had to tell me, Zach. You had to look it up. But Texas has over 200 counties for sure. Well over 200 counties, I think.
I think we somewhere in the 300s, but I'll look it up real
And
quick.
then they trying to rezone everything, so it was probably gonna go uphill. But when I think about that question, how do we get back to having the compounds, the house where Big Mama has a large home and the cousins and they're staying together, the parents, and it's dinner every Sunday. How do we get there? We gotta get back to education. And one thing I would say You talking about small towns? Well, yeah, they got a lot of small towns for sale. But what about some of these? 'Cause a lot of our historical black colleges in the state of Texas, some of them are in small towns, and some are in small towns adjacent, like damn near a railroad track separates them. This is the black side of the town. This is the white. This is the urban. This is the urban side of the town, and this is the low underserved community side of town. Why why can't we get investors that are black or esteemed professionals that are black that would like to provide innovation in science and biomedicine advancement of technology with those institutions to develop that community? And therefore it could be a black town if we did it the right way. I'm just thinking, like I said, this is just me spitballing some out, like strictly out, like this just came to my head. Why can't we do that? Because we have a lot of college towns already that are PWIs that are considered white towns. I can name 2 off my head, I ain't gonna name them, but you can name some too, but why can't we do the same? I believe we could, but it has to be a strategic plan that is done to advance the black people in that facet. Many podcasts ago, and our listeners, if you wanna go listen, where we talked about HBCUs and we had on a conversation about health science centers. HBCUs need to have health science centers to advance community medicine for the underserved community. All that can be done, but I mean, obviously they need money, right? And we need good leaders in those positions, but we need money.
Now,
It
I'm
could
a
be done. I think it could be
absolutely,
done.
hands down, this could be done. Like, I'm about to go into something that just showed you. I'm about to just research right now. First, I want to
Okay.
answer your question. Texas has 254 counties.
Lord Jesus.
Insane
That's
to think about, bro.
ridiculous. That's
Insane
it.
to think about.
You have
254.
254 counties. That mean you got 254 mayors.
Come on, man. And you might got more than that because every town got a
More than
mayor,
that.
bro.
Yes, you probably got more than that. Like, no, I thought it was countywide. I thought the mayor was countywide.
Is it?
I
Mm-hmm.
think it's
I'm about to
countywide. So that's
research.
254 mayors. And I think the chief of police is by uh by county too. So that's crazy.
One of the things I just researched this to the chat. So if y'all gonna get
Okay.
mad at us, you gonna get mad at ChatGPT because my boy Chat, me and my boy talk. We have real conversations all the time.
Big
So
fact.
me and my boy Chat was talking, and I said, "Chat." Question I asked him was, "How do we get back to developing black towns and cities? Can you give me some steps? How should we do this, and how could this happen?"
Ooh, I'm about to go on mute. Tell me, say it.
So I ain't gonna get too deep into it because there's a lot of reading. We ain't about to do all that for this right now. But it gave examples like shout out if you from Houston, Freeman's Town, founded in 1865. Look it up. It ain't there no. But you start by rebuilding existing historical black communities. Use the community land trust to protect ownership.
Mm.
You build the economy before trying to build the skyline. Create local development corporations. Build mixed income housing, not just luxury or low income housing. Make education and trades part of the town's plan. They said an action step could be partner with HBCUs, community
Ah,
college, unions, trade schools, and entrepreneurships programs. Train residents in construction, electrical, plumbing, HVAC, project management, healthcare, logistics, accounting, business ownership. Create youth plans to teach real estate, investing, public speaking, farming, technology, and local history. Pay young people to help document community history, maintain public spaces, and support local projects in town. If the town is being rebuilt, the residents should be trained how to build it. If that ain't deep, I don't know what is. Black towns should not only be residential, they should become cultural destinations, museums, music venues, food districts, festivals, heritage tours, art tours, bookstores, studios, historic walk trails.
this is
A natural
wow.
The Natural Trust has emphasized that preserving black historical neighborhoods and cultural sites can support revitalization, economic growth, and healthier communities. You
Wow.
know what I'm saying? Build food and health and safety systems. They say a town can't thrive without access to food, healthcare, safety, and wellness. Many historical black
Mm.
areas deal with food deserts, poor infrastructures, environmental hazards, and limited healthcare access. Develop a local grocery store. Support black farmers and urban agriculture. You know what I'm saying? Like, then it goes on to say, make an infrastructure a priority early. You, they tell you to push for city and county, state, and federal infrastructure dollars. Build a broadband access to develop plan. Prioritize walkability, drainage, street lighting, sidewalks, and public transportation early. Use green infrastructure like trees, biowells, and flood control and community gardens. And then the last one it says, I create a capital stack. Build a To build a black town or rebuild a black district, money has to come from multiple sources. One grant will not do it. So find the money you can build. And that's what I said, having deep enough pockets to help this, right?
Private
Number
funding.
11, protect against gentrification before development starts. Let me say that one more time. Protection against gentrification before development starts. And chat goes on to say, this is the biggest lesson. Development without protection can become displacement. Development without protection can become displacement.
Damn.
Mm. Chat said, put the damn land in a trust. Put
Yeah.
it in a community land trust. Create
Yeah.
right to return policies for displaced residents. Give current residents first chance at new housing and business spaces. Cap rent increase where legally possible. I'm with that already. Use community benefit agreements with developers. Require local hiring and local contracting. Track who owns land and who is buying property. And then the last step, it says build regional networks of black towns, not isolated projects. One town is vulnerable. A network of black communities can share vendors, banks, contractors, lawyers, farmers, schools, media, and political strategies. Connect historic black towns, freedom colonies, and black neighborhoods, HBCUs, churches, businesses, chambers, land trusts. Make them all connect. So it's harder for them to take you out.
Community land trust, it retains permanent ownership of the land itself. And if you do that and say somebody wants to come and build a business or build something on top of the land, they have to pay a lease to you for building on that land, and it lasts for 99 years.
Mm.
What to say? I'm just reading this. It's renewable after 99 years of ground lease. So if they want to build something, they have to pay you for almost 100 years. It's a century. Now, folks, I know we got everywhere. We about to wrap this thing up because we were talking about the overarching question today. The overarching question today was, why is Black American marriages the highest in divorce and the lowest when it comes to marriage? We looked up statistics. Statistics told us that, let me find it, y'all. That I said mental health. No, I said mental health was the number one thing, right, y'all? I said mental health. Yeah. I said mental health was the number one thing. I can't find. Yeah, here it is. I said mental health. I said I feel like mental health is the number one key. Me and Zach talked about the displacement. Well, hold on. Let me correct my term. It's not displacement. My wife corrected me. It's family instability. We talked about mental health being a key role, and they said yes, mental health is a key role, and they said relational insecurity was the number one factor. And when we looked up the term relational insecurity, it said relational insecurity is a deep seated fear of abandonment, rejection, and unworthiness. It is often stems from past trauma, unmet childhood needs, or an anxious attachment style. This nervous system response triggers hypervigilance, overthinking, and the need for constant reassurance. So we talked about this. So we said what's the number one derivative and why, and we talked about that. Now we just move into how do we get to a space of building Black communities where we can dismantle relational insecurity. I'm just tying it all together. And Zach just walked us through how to do that. So, anybody who's listening to this podcast, you can always email us at gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. That is gemstonepodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to sit down with us and come up with a community activation plan to rebuild Black communities. We came up with this plan just now. And if you work at HBCU and you want to reach out, you want to do strategic planning, hey, reach out to me. I got a whole consulting company called Cyril and the Consultant, and I do a lot of strategic planning. I've done it for over a decade now.
All right, man, come talk to the Gemstone. We'll get you right, boy.
And we
We're
will
gonna get that
assist
building,
you
that
with
city right.
this. As always, it's been a pleasure. And this was a really good conversation. At first, I was like, man, it's the prison. I ain't want to talk about this. Zach.
Hey
Oh,
y'all.
man. Shy. Girl, I didn't know you came in. Well,
Hey,
Shy,
sis.
How you
well,
know I came in when you let me in?
I ain't paying attention. I was just clicking and we talking.
Thank y'all for the Gemstone Podcast.
But we really appreciate you guys. This was a really good topic, see? Really good topic. If you guys want to send us mail, send us things like that, you got the email. If you want
Low
to
key wish my sis was here for this one.
man, I really wish she was. 'Cause this was one of them ones.
This was up her alley right here. She would have been losing it.
Man.
The HBCU are connoisseur myself.
Now I needed you to stand 10 toes for your women. That's what I needed you to do.
So
That's always, no matter what.
y'all
I
go,
know.
y'all
Needed
go,
that.
y'all go like and share our podcast. You can find us on various platforms where podcasts are being aired. It is Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, Amazon Podcasts, and YouTube. We appreciate you guys. It's as always, Gemstones. We appreciate you for listening, and we care about you, and we love you. Peace.
You already know what it is, baby. Gemstones Podcast. You know.
Thank y'all for listening. See y'all next time.